to talk to you about because it's so impressive. And I wanted to, you'd be so inspiring to other people. I know so many people just like you who are busy professional women who travel a lot. And the biggest excuse is, well, I travel for work. So when that slows down, I'll do the reboot. Or, a vacation comes along or a trip comes along and they say, oh, I'm going to have to pause the reboot for a while because I'm going to be out of town for a week. And it's like, that's life.
Right.
Life keeps moving forward. You not only started the reboot, and you went to New Hampshire first and like everything, and then we started, but you started the reboot. Like I'm going to,
Yeah, after the first week, I went to the Cape, I think.
Cape Cod right afterwards. And it was like, I'm going on vacation, Sheila, let's get ready. I'm like, Ellen's all in. So, for anybody who doesn't know, this is Ellen. Ellen is wonderful. Ellen is about 4 or 5 weeks into the 5 weeks into the process.
Yep.
And has lost so much weight. A month. I'm like, what the heck happened off of her body in 1 month? And you can really see it. I mean, her picture came up beforehand and then her face, I'm like, you need a new picture.
I know. It's funny.
The great thing is that Ellen doesn't make excuses. Ellen is ready for this. And that makes all the difference in the ability to get stuff done. She's ready. And tell us a little bit about your decision to get started when you did.
Yeah. So I feel really fortunate that Sheila and I have a mutual acquaintance, and that was how we were introduced. And I just remember listening to your story and learning more about the reboot method and just thinking, that is what I need to do. It was really almost like a magical, kismet thing, like you've got to do this. And in fact, Tracy, our mutual acquaintance, even called me. And I mean, we were both like in tears on the phone. She said, you need to go do this. And it really, it just really resonated with me. And I think, the thing that, I remember filling out like the SMART goals at the beginning and, really focusing on, I have a son who's 10 and I was 42 when he was born. And so I'm an older mom and I really want to be around and be an active part of his life. And I want to just feel better, like for myself, like it's not just for him, but that's definitely one of the driving forces. And I think that, I have really made a very conscious effort in really, I'm constantly entering in the food that I'm eating and what I'm doing. But I also really made a very specific decision to make sure that my family and close friends know what I'm doing and that this is super important and that, my sort of core group of, girlfriends, I'm like, if you see me picking up a piece of bread, hit my hand. I mean, but, and I know that they would, and they've been part of my, in addition to my husband and my son, but I mean, they have been like my cheering section. I mean, I had been away for a week and came back and they're like, oh, you can totally see the difference in your face. And, I like had on a pair of shorts when we were out on our most recent vacation. And I was like, these are pretty loose already. Like, so it's just really neat to like notice that.
Hold on to them. You're going to need something that you can.
I know, some like
before. I can't believe these fit me.
Yeah.
But yeah, she got her support squad together big time. She let her freak flag fly and said, I'm doing this. So many people keep it in the closet. I don't want to disturb people, but it's partly not wanting to commit when people hide it.
Yeah.
Because they don't want to be called out on it if they fail, because people who are as big as I was when I was 276 and, where your starting weight was, you've been through a million diets that have not done well. And I don't know how many times my family heard, oh, Sheila's starting a diet. And they'd be like, oh, Sheila's starting a diet again. And you don't want to fail.
Right.
Again. And so you kind of keep it to yourself, because if you fail, no one's going to be disappointed in you, only you.
Right.
But Ellen really said, you know what? I'm doing it. I enough with this back and forth. I'm just going to do it. And you had made a comment. And it's like, well, you did it. You did this. You're not some skinny person telling me how to lose weight. It's like, you know where I'm coming from.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah. And how was it being on vacation doing the reboot?
So I think, so we've had 2 different 1-week vacations since we started. And I think the first one, I know I made some rookie mistakes. And I think that's the good thing about journaling your food, so that you were able to say, like, here's 3 or 4 things. And that probably, caused some inflammation. And when I was like looking back, you're like, oh yeah, you know what, that wasn't, like, I thought I was making the right choice, but not really. And so then on our most recent vacation, it was much easier. I mean, I was a couple more weeks in, but I also was really paying attention to what I was ordering. And even in between then, just on occasions when we've gone out, I mean, we took our son to see Blue Man Group for his birthday. And we're at this restaurant near the theater. And I said to the waitress, I'm like, can I do no bun? Can I have lettuce with that burger? No cheese, da, 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 da. And she's like, sure. And I mean, they gave me like a head of lettuce to wrap the burger up. And it was hysterical. It was literally half of like an iceberg
Oh my
head of
gosh.
lettuce. Like, I don't think I need to eat this much in one sitting,
Um,
but thank you for paying attention to
oh,
my
that's so
order.
nice.
But I
Yeah.
think, and I mean, and we're cooking much more. I mean, I typically cook definitely like 3 to 4 nights a week, but now it's more like 5 to 6. And sort of, we know like which restaurants I'm probably going to have more options at than others. And we're sort of focusing on going to those places, like a place in our town that has cauliflower mash to go with the salmon that they serve. That's delicious. So that's, what I had for dinner the other
Wild
night.
caught.
It's all, oh yeah, all wild, all
That's
wild.
that's interesting. You said that about your second vacation, because on the first one you were staying in a house, so it was easy to
Right.
make your own food, pack your own lunches or whatever. And that you found it easier because you were further down in the process. But on this next time that you went, you were going out to restaurants more often, correct?
For every meal. Yeah.
And a
For
wedding.
every, yeah. And a wedding. And
Well,
and it's funny, we're having a family party for my father's 80th birthday in about a week and a half.
mhm.
And so my brother and I were picking, like appetizers and things. And he's like, what about this? I'm like, no, no, no. I'm like, we're going to do this, this, and this.
Good
Like,
for
it's
you.
healthier for everyone. He's like, okay.
And you know what? The foods are delicious. It's not like
Yeah.
you're out eating rice cakes and
No.
yogurt. It's like you're eating real food, and it's
Yeah.
guy food. Guys love the food.
Oh, I made the Big
Really
Mac
good
salad tonight for dinner. That's a huge hit here.
Oh yeah, that's a good one. That is, and it really does taste like a Big Mac that
It
you're eating.
really does.
It's like the Big Mac fell out of the bun and you're it's which it does anyway. It's like you're
Yeah.
eating it off the paper. No, I have a friend who serves a Big Mac salad on a piece of parchment paper. So it feels like you're in
Oh,
McDonald's and it fell apart.
that's so funny.
Everybody on a plate gets a piece of parchment paper and then she puts salad on it. So it's the whole sensory thing. It's so
That's so funny.
no, but we even I asked you what the people who are new get to choose the first recipe from the Come Cook, because we do these live cooking shows, which I have so much fun with. And you're like, cutlets, I really would. And we figured out how to make really delicious chicken cutlets, which was
Yep.
something the family enjoys. Have you been able to make those yet?
Yes, I did finally get a chance to make them. They're delicious.
Oh.
So delicious. And I actually, I also bought some thin sliced pork and did like a pork cutlet with them as well. Oh, it's delicious. Really,
So
really
glad.
yummy.
And your guys are probably loving it too.
Oh
It's
yeah.
like, "I get to eat this. It's like,
Yeah, totally. Totally. Yeah, they're loving it.
oh, that's wonderful. So for someone who's in your shoes, who's looking at this and thinking, I don't know, this is kind of a big program and everything, what would you tell them?
I would tell them that I feel like I've tried every kind of diet out there. And this is, well, it's a different way to eat. And it's a way to eat where you're making really normal, healthy choices. and it doesn't really deter you, from what other people, you can go out to a restaurant and someone across the table from me could get a cheese pizza. It doesn't matter. I'm still going to be able to have a delicious meal. And I think for me, because I was thinking about this, I think that that's one thing that's really helped is that, this is a really doable program, and it's you like some of it seems so basic, like not basic, and I don't mean that in a bad way. It's just like, my gosh, like this is something,
Like getting
if
back to the basics,
back to the
basically.
basics, exactly. Like just, this makes so much sense that you don't want to, smother some big roll with cheese and sauce and then shove a burger in that and wolf that all down, because it's just not the
Yeah,
right
the focus
combination
is
of,
on dense nutrition, and it's
right,
educating ourselves that you don't have to have carbohydrates on a plate to make it complete. You don't have
right.
fruit in the morning to make it a morning. There's so many food fables that we've become accustomed to and we expect, but what we're getting back to is what we learned a long time ago about what a nutritious meal is.
And I think I've definitely noticed, I mean, I was definitely someone who would eat my meal fast.
Mm.
And definitely I've slowed because I'm really trying to pay attention to when I'm feeling full.
You're being
And
mindful in your eating patterns. Yeah.
yeah, and I can't honestly think that I don't really remember often feeling full, um, like when I'd be having something that was, say a burger and fries or something like that. And now, I mean, like even, even tonight, I remember like sort of pausing, having a sip of, I was having a water with this lemon slice in it, and it just was like, I'm full. I am full. Like I am done with this Big Mac salad for dinner, and you know, and I don't feel like I'm being deprived at all. Like
Yeah,
not at all.
nobody ever talks about satiety. Everybody talks about hunger. Like, am I hungry? Am I hungry? And you're focusing all the time on am I hungry? Am I hungry? Versus am I full? Like when you're eating, we have a natural off switch that does kick in. And I just train people how to listen to their bodies again. Our body knows what to do. Our body
Mhm.
really wants to be healthy and have all kinds of healthy cells and healthy habits and healthy lifestyle. And we just need to kind of get out of its way and let it do its thing and listen to what you need.
Yeah.
Getting back to eating fats when fats have been so demonized makes a meal so delicious. It's like, I can really have that. It's like, yes, you can have a bucket of mayonnaise. Go for it.
Right.
Um,
And I think even your advice, Sheila, about, if you feel like if you feel like you're hungry, have some water, have something to drink, or get up and maybe move around, change your scenery for a minute or two. And I find like I definitely do that. And I definitely notice that it's more that I'm thinking I'm hungry, but maybe I just need to like take a little minute away from my desk. It makes
Well, you
such a
could be
difference.
bored. Yeah, you could be bored. You could be upset. You could be wanting to reward yourself or to pamper yourself. There's all different reasons why we eat. The biggest one is the clock tells you it's noon and you have to be eating,
Right.
or 6 and you have to be eating. And that is a rhythm your body gets. That's a hard one to break. But I can't wait for you to get more involved in the mindfulness aspects of it. And the other thing that Ellen has decided to do is to extend her reboot for a year after she's done with the 12-year program and really see this through. And there's all kinds of amazing things that happen on the year-long program. We're going to get you into maintenance and really make it a permanent thing that's not going anywhere. So I'm really glad that you and I enjoy spending time together, because we're going to be
Me
spending
too.
a lot of time together. But no, it's your commitment is commendable. There are very few people I've worked with that are as all in as you are, but those are the people who truly see the results that you're seeing. So
Well,
thank
I'm very grateful. I really am.
Oh, back at you. I am very grateful for you. And your sharing this is so lovely and so generous, because you're going to help someone who's on the fence, who's right where you are and not knowing. It's like, oh, I'm in my 50s. I have however many pounds to lose. And I have so many people say, I'm just going to get used to how I look and how I feel. And it's like, you don't have to. And change is a hard thing. Change is a really, really hard thing, but you stepped up and I just can't wait to tape another one of these when you're half your size. It's going to be so much fun.
Me too.
We're going to do some progress ones along the way. And if ever you learn anything you want to share, just let me know, or you can always go on and start a live on the group or just share we have a very strong community that's really behind each other. We really
Yeah,
do.
everyone you've introduced me to has been so supportive, and you get tips from everyone. And
Yeah.
I'm a firm believer in asking the questions, because if I have some questions, someone else might too, or they've had it in the past and they can give me some advice. So it's the only way you sort of keep the forward momentum going.
Well, congratulations on your success so far. I really look forward to seeing where you go with this, and hold on to those big shorts.
Yes, I will. I
I
will.
want to have a
Thank you,
picture of you holding
Sheila.
them up someday. Well, take care.
All right. Bye-bye.